Hello, this is Artsy Wisdom. Thank you for coming by. My name is Diane. I love that you're here. Today, I'm going to be just looking at the DNC, the excitement. Today's Friday. I wasn't, I said this on my other video. I haven't been on for a little while. I've been not feeling super good. I don't know if it's allergies. And then I said my birthday was yesterday, so I did a lot of lounging. There was Netflix and popcorn involved. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not, I swear. Anyway, yeah, thank you again. And I love that I get new subscribers. And some of you, if you just wouldn't mind checking your subscribe button and see, sometimes I get them not get subscribers leave, and I don't know. Probably it's fine. You know, if you leave, fine, no problem. But if you didn't mean to or they took you off, just check. That'd be great if you don't mind. So today I'm just going to talk about the excitement of the DNC and the energy and the blowing up. And I wanted to know why. I sat with it and I meditated. I mean, you can talk about it logically why, but I had a couple images that came to mind. Also, I got some images with Kamala and Trump against each other in their food battle, which is very interesting. Yeah. And then I also was going to pull some cards on the Republican rumblings. I'm wondering what's happening behind the scenes, and just to get a feel. I didn't actually meditate on that. I'm going to pull cards. I want to see, but I will let you know. We'll do that. Simple, short, hopefully short, not too long video. Let's get started. Today I have Abby with me. Say hi, Abby. The old Abby who can't hear and can't see very well. She's always wanting to be next to me. 13 and a half. This girl. Oh, I'm going to miss her when she's gone, but yeah. So today I'm going to work on like I said, the DNC. I'm going to share with you the images, but I really wanted to look at why it's happening. If you think about the momentous shift in the last 35 days, or 30, whatever it's been, we went through sort of, oh my God, death march. Joe Biden's going to be our nominee. We love Joe Biden, but isn't there anybody better? Can't we figure this out? And then the debate happened. And meanwhile, Project 2025 book and Monument to Autocracy. And then Trump's still talking, and all the polls are coming back. He was going to lose, or he was going to win. Then we get the flip. And Joe says, okay, I'll back down. And I'm also I don't know why it bothers me. Nancy Pelosi was one of the people that, sorry, my bracelet is making noise here. Nancy Pelosi was one of the people that really was near the end or near the final decision-making process, I think, for Joe Biden when she saw the polls and really wanted to make sure that he needed to understand how bad it was. I don't know why it bothers me so much. And I'm never mad at Nancy Pelosi. I just feel like she's a tough lady. She knows what she's doing. I don't know why that bothered me, but I think I felt sorry for Joe. And I thought about him at the convention last night at that big ending speech and all the balloons and all the excitement cheering on Kamala and this campaign. And I wonder if he was watching going, oh, that could have been mine. It wouldn't have been like that. But that sense of, all right, it's not mine anymore. She has it. It was complete. I can imagine that it was set in stone and it was decided. I don't know. I had that feeling when I got into his energy. Anyway, when I thought about the momentous period of time we're in, that this actually happened where the nomination occurred, it's like a miracle if you think about it. I know it's real and it's practical and a thing that happened and it's politics and how our country works, but it's almost miraculous to me the way this has flipped to where we have a nominee that everybody can rally around that was like a dark horse. And I apologize, and I need to apologize now, and I've done it before. I did not really understand the depth of her abilities. When I would see her speak when she was running for president back in 2020, I felt meh. Like, it didn't seem like she had a grasp on, I don't know, the policies, or grasp on how to seem presidential, or I don't know what it was. Maybe it was I don't think it was a lack of confidence. It was something. And I felt like she was self-serving. Total opposite. I apologize again. I didn't really understand that she was actually coming from a background of structure, and she respected law. She respected the chain of command. Joe Biden was the president. She laid back. She was always in a reference or deferring to him, and she did the work in the background. And I think that's why we didn't know her. That's why this seemed like a dark horse, but she was always working. And she sounds like when she gave her speech last night, which was so amazingly patriotic. I always seems like the children of immigrants or immigrants themselves really understand the dream of America. It's not a story for them. It's real, and they get it. And those of us who've been here generations, we're just used to it, and we sometimes take it for granted. But I noticed that with children, or children of immigrants or immigrants themselves really appreciate the possibilities. Anyway, she talked about that, and it really came through: her patriotism, her love of country, the authenticity that the middle class needs to be supported, and she is willing to do it, and she's practical. And I don't know why, maybe in California, her voting record, well, she was an attorney, or maybe in Senate, excuse me. She was in the Senate where she would vote more liberal. And so they've been labeling her socialist and radical and far left. But I think as time passed, she's becoming more center. Plus, she's an attorney and she's a prosecutor. And I think she's pretty structured. I think she's more practical than we have given her credit for. So that came across. This idea of her history, and we're all unified. She wanted to be president for everyone. And I've heard that before. I think Biden said that. But I feel like she also means it very deeply. And she doesn't get offended. I don't think. She wants to have everybody work together, even if we disagree. And there were so many Republicans there at the convention. That was amazing, that didn't want Trump elected. But there's people that won't watch her, won't ever see her, don't have that information, believe what they hear on other media sources. And unfortunately, they're not going to vote for her. But I am very excited. But going back to the miracle of this thing that happened, and to get Tim Walz, this governor, congressman from Minnesota, Nebraska, who is a giant personality, has been just serving his constituency, and to bring him into this. I've said this before when I looked into who would be her vice president, and he was one of the people that I picked for her. And because of their Aries and their fire planets, he's in Aries with like 3 or 4 planets in Aries, and I can't remember exactly. And she's got a Mars or a moon in Aries, which is her emotional self, and I think a Mars in Leo. So those fire signs all trine each other. There is so much energy they have together. They like feed off each other, which is good. It may eventually blow up because that could cause a fire, but in a not literal way, but a more symbolic way. But the point is, those two came together. And sometimes we have these moments in history that are unexplainable. And they seem so simple and obvious when it happens. And it's like, wow. And I the last I don't know, a couple of videos ago, I've been seeing this image of a valley, and I saw lights, like sparkly lights over the valley. And that was this positive energy that I see the country as praying, meditating, believing, raising their energy up to believe to a higher level, to the love level, to the compassion, caring, empathy, helping for anyone around you that isn't necessarily like you. All of those lights are coming, they were coming up. And I saw the divine energy, God light, being pulled. That energy was being pulled down into the earth. So that light was actually a conduit from the divine, from God. And I feel that we all have been working hard. People, light workers, regular, whoever has been trying to raise our vibration to bring that down. Let us make that part of our reality. And I see that as happening. And I think that is part of the equation. I think that is part of how this miraculous moment occurred. And some people might say, oh, that's just woo-woo. But I believe that that is really, we have a practical thing that happens. But I do feel like our thoughts and our emotions create our reality, right? And there's actually quantum physics and science to validate that. So I think that's what's happening. I think that is. I think that is why the momentum, the crazy excitement is like, yes, we made it happen. We made it happen. That's the feeling I get, some of it. So it's very exciting and it's really positive. I know it's all fun and games right now because it's just starting and it's like the honeymoon phase. And I've said before, there will be a dip. Something's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to, her voting record. I do feel like in September, there's going to be some sort of dip with her and Tim Walz. But I see her coming right back up again. So I don't know what that is. If it almost feels like a paperwork problem or a technical thing, which I don't know why there would be. It's kind of the feeling I get. And then she'll come back up. And let's see, I wrote my notes on. Oh, yeah, so they're both children of 1964. And that was the beginning of all the big flower power changing, not doing what your dad did from the 50s and 40s, all that. Everybody in the 60s wanted to change everything. We were going to change the world and make it a better place and be peaceful. And there was fights, a lot of riots, and a lot of bad stuff happened. So they were born in that time. And their birth charts bring that energy with them of peace and love and unity, and not exactly like that, but it's part of the universal planetary energy that they got absorbed when they were born, and it's in their life. And so the practicality, I think, is a big interesting part of that, because I'm not sure if they have Pluto and Virgo. They might have Pluto and Virgo, which is pretty practical. Anyway, so they both will get the job done, and they're going to go for peace and love and unity, but also strong and vibrant because of their fire. So I thought that was really, and that's what we need. We wanted a leader. Everybody wants a leader right now. And that's the thing. The leader was missing quotient. Biden was a leader, but he was more of a elderly statesman who led from a chair. And his brain is fine. He's elderly. And I love Joe. And he's going to, all the work that he's done, and I've said this before, his heart in that white bubble is going to take Kamala and Walz over the finish line, Kamala and Tim, the coach, over the finish line. That bubble of accomplishments, although Republicans will say they're horrible, that is going to take him over the finish line. He will lift them up, or we will lift Joe, we will lift Kamala, and all those lights and all that is going to make that happen. And I do think that the Democrats will take over the House and the Senate. I've said that before too. Um, people, oh yeah, so people, I was trying to think of why, and I think people were so pissed off that we had no leadership and things were falling apart. And there's so many intelligent people in this country. We just, it was a vacuum and we globbed onto it. And so that's part of the energy too. Um, so then in the past, just going into just the food thing, I wanted to see her against Trump. And I do think there's another whole thing with Trump and his court stuff, and which I'll get into another time. But she has been in my mind, my mind's eye, as a bowl of root vegetables that have been pureed or mashed. Okay, I'm gonna put Abby down because she's there. You go, go lay down. Um, but the bowl has been getting bigger and bigger, and it still has butter on it. I see it always with butter because butter's delicious. Anyway, and it's sweet, but it's getting bigger and bigger. And we got Trump's cake over there, his broken cake. And I see her like giving him the side eye, like looking like she's not near him yet. So she's eyeing him. And then as we get closer to the election, I see her, and I'll draw this so you can see her mashed vegetables and it almost feels like she absorbs that cake inside, inside of her, like takes it all in. And then she starts to grow. It's so crazy. She starts to grow. And suddenly these metal rectangular bars that are small at first, and then because the mashed is over here, they come up and up, and they come up simultaneously. So there's like 5 or 6 of them, and they're coming up out of it and growing and growing and growing up to the sky, a little bit of an angle, not so much straight, but kind of in an angle. And I was like, what the heck is that? But it made me feel like after the election, so much growth. There's so many things she wants to do, and maybe those are 6 pillars of stuff she wants to grow. The economy, housing, women's health, foreign, whatever it is. Anyway, so, but then I see them, and they also reminded me way back when the 9/11 happened. I don't know if you guys remember the debris and all the metal, was all destroyed and it was all tangled. And there was these big girders that were sticking up out of the ground. And that's what it reminded me of a little bit, because they were like that. Then I thought of the Freedom, because they named the new tower the Freedom Tower. And I see the beam of light, I think, that comes out of the top of that tower. And I see those girders, or they're more like square metal things. And they're orange too, by the way. They haven't changed colors, or light orange. And they do have light coming out the top of them. But they are not just one, they're multiple. And they shoot into the sky. They get really tall. So maybe it's the Freedom Tower. Maybe I'm mixing kind of metaphors or images or symbols. But the big thing is that she overtakes him, and then she grows this. Maybe it's the freedom. Maybe she grows that freedom out of the desiccated cake and all the carnage, his American carnage. We know about that. So I find that really interesting. Isn't it crazy where my mind goes? Anyway, and then I looked at Tim Wall's biscuits and I thought, how is he going to play into this whole thing? All right. So I still see the tray of biscuits, but what I saw was he is going to defer to her. He's going to be there in the morning. I'm picturing somebody on a farm. And so this is like him maybe in relation to his career as a vice president, kind of an analogy. In the morning, gets up, does his chores, goes milks the cows, whatever, comes in, has his biscuits and gravy. There's a whole tray of biscuits. Those biscuits and gravy. Then he goes to school or goes to wherever work, lunch, sandwich, biscuits. There's biscuits there. Then later he has biscuits with jam and butter. And then I don't know how he would have them at dinner, but there would be something with dinner and maybe pork chops or something. And then some honey on them later. I just feel like these biscuits, he can transform himself into anything that is needed at the time. He is a hard worker. He's going to just do the job. He's not going to be too flamboyant. Biscuits aren't flashy. He is going to do what he needs and support and nourish and be consistent and fulfill his job, but also fill the country, fill the administration with whatever he needs. I almost feel like we'll get fat, which is not a bad thing in that regard. Anyway, and yeah, I think all in all, it seems really super positive. And right now, I'm going to pull some cards just real quick. We're at 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep my videos a little shorter because they take so long to load. But I'd like you guys to comment on what you prefer. I know I do more politics than I've ever done. I used to do just tarot and astrology and stuff and do I have meditations on here too. I have a mix. I'd like to know what you guys prefer. I have people that, I'm going to just pull this because it feels like I need to. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Comments and tell me what you want me to do readings on specifically. And you have commented, and I get a lot of questions about certain countries. And if I don't feel like I'm connected to it, I won't do it right away. But I do read every single comment. Republican rumblings. What's happening? Okay. In my head, I was thinking of J.D. Vance. Knight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, King of Swords. So they're having sharp words, sharp thoughts, hard thoughts, unemotional. What are we going to do? This is where they're at right now. We have to do something different. They're saying Ace of Pentacles, they have to start something different. But they don't know exactly. It's been slow for them. That's what the Knight of Pentacles is about. They've been moving really slow because they haven't been able to bob and weave. She's too fast. It's come along too fast. And the whole situation is nothing they were prepared for. Yeah, they're really thinking. Knight of Swords, too, is really fast. Ace of Pentacles is new, preparing something that is real and practical. So they're in the process. So outside, Ace of Cups, this is stuff outside of them. Things that we're not aware of, they're not aware of. And the Six of Swords. So I'm thinking that they are looking at getting, advisors, or they're being very creative. This is a very creative thing where I think they're getting input from other people or other groups or maybe strategists. And I know they have so many people, so I don't know what that would be. And other people, I think, are saying you need to do something different because I got Six of Swords moving to calm waters. I think some of that is about, him not talking policy. And the other day was just horrible. He was in, was it North Carolina or South Carolina? And he's like, oh, yeah, they told me that I need to talk about policy and things I'm going to be doing. But the personal stuff, I talked about personal stuff. What would you rather me talk about? Meaning personal attacks, or let's do a applause for which one. How about I do personal, and then they all cheer, and then how about I just do regular policy stuff and nobody really says anything? What kind of person does that? Do you want me to attack? Do you want me to say mean things? Do you like it when I harass, grumble, lie? Cheer on if you do. That's a leader? I don't think so. Oh, so this next row is this is still Republican rumblings. Some big change. Tower. This is in the distant future, what happens or what they should or shouldn't do. Two of Swords. Uh-oh. Rumblings. So we got the Tower, Two of Swords, which is decisions and you can't decide, you're indecisive. So something is occurring, something is changing. And it could just be, let me think or feel. Because there's also the Death card after that. Okay. I think what the thing that's going to is the polls that are going to come up, because when I get into Trump's energy, he feels semi positive. I see a lot of papers and people everywhere, and not that he's reading the paper. That's kind of snarky, but I think that's a common knowledge thing. There's polls and information that's suddenly shocking. Shocking. They are actually going to do something. What is the Death card? I want to say something really. Are they going to? They could even get rid of. I know they can't get rid of J.D. Vance, but I don't. They're not going to get rid of J.D. I got to know. What is this Tower card and Death card about? I'm feeling like it's something like rallies, outside people, polls. I know those are all different things, but something is changed, surprises them. Um, and maybe they don't go there. Maybe they're going to a swing state or going to a state and they don't have enough people buying tickets or something like that. But that doesn't seem like, maybe it is kind of a big thing to them. But maybe it's just a significator of the real problem, the deep problem. They get rid of J.D. Vance. Got the marriage card. No, I guess not. They're married. I didn't think he was, but what is this Tower about? What is King of Cups? Someone. Nine of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, you know what? I just realized there's hardly any. Well, the Death and Tower and Wheel of Fortune now. Hardly any major arcana cards, which says to me they have all the, it's up to their energy to move at this. It isn't a universal, this is not karmic at the moment. This is up to them, what they've created. But I got the Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Wands. So King of Cups, so water sign. Somebody brings in tidings of ill fortune. And it's going to make them rethink things. Yeah, they're going to make a big shift because they see the writing on the wall. That's what it is. They have to change something. And I think they're going to go, is it go after her? Well, of course they're going to go after her. That's just a no-brainer. But what? It feels super extreme. Whatever it is, it gives me like my hands are cold, like not goosebumps, but like or maybe there's just a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, and it's getting worse. Although for him in Trump's energy, I feel like he's all white. I don't feel like he's sucked into that, even though it seems logical that he would be because he's rambling. Or maybe he's not tracking anymore. He's having a hard time staying focused because of his brain aging. It's some of the strategists. No, maybe not. Is there somebody from another country doing something? Feels like they're going to do something extreme to cause something, or maybe it's it wouldn't be like somebody from another country that he asked to do something that make Joe Biden look bad or something. I don't know, like that. That's kind of, but it doesn't feel like it's happening. It kind of feels like it's happening to them, and then they react like that. I don't know exactly, but polls, something like that, rallies that aren't working. They seeing the writing on the wall, and they're changing how their tact, as they say, and they're gonna go a different direction because they have to. Things are, and it's like scary, like they're gonna like to the point of committing crimes kind of thing. And I don't know what that means or who or what, but that's the feeling, when somebody's like scared so bad, you got to just do something. That's the feeling I get. Not that I've committed crimes or anything, but the feeling. Anyway. All right. Thank you for coming by again. If you don't mind, like, subscribe, and all those YouTube things. And let me know if there's anything that you're interested in. And compare. Like, are you guys more interested in celebrity stuff? I did some people that have been passed away and their past lives, or is it politics? I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Till next time.